Welcome to Octomoves Member Spotlight. Today we have Simone. Hi, Simone.
Hi.
Please introduce yourself and share what you would like to share about yourself.
Well, I am 55. I am originally from Germany. I lived in Switzerland for 15 years, and now I am in Portland. I have been here since 11 years in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And I started out as an engineer, finished carpenter, and then I became a stay-at-home mom, which I have loved. I feel very privileged that I was able to do so. My son is now 18 and just graduated from high school, so he is soon to leave the house. And yeah, to me, this is like a new chapter as well that's about to start with him being gone. And then I was just starting to look what else is out there. What else can I do now?
Yeah, and as you mentioned before we started recording, you started rope flow 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yes. So, do you build already? Do you have already built some sort of relationship with it?
I was like, when I first started, I couldn't put it down. I went through like the first 3 days of the course in like one day. It's like, okay, I want to know more. I want to know more. And then I had to stop because I already felt like I was getting sore in places I didn't even know I had muscles. And and then I just kept going and going and going. And it's like, oh my God, I love it so much. And then I had to sort of step back a little a couple of days ago because there was a not so good kind of sore setting in where it was just doing too much. So I have to just take it a little easier for a little bit until my muscles catch up.
All right. So I guess, yeah. So you did like what, like half an hour sessions?
No, maybe less, but I guess it's sort of that my shoulders and the upper part of my body hasn't really been exercised in a while. Within the last 5 years, I had both of my shoulders frozen, one after the other. And then it's a very painful process while it sort of freezes up. So you're really just acting it. So you're not moving at all. And you're also not rotating much. You're really trying to avoid any movement that causes pain in the shoulder. And then, so it's just gotten stiffer and stiffer without me really noticing. And even though I am active, I dance and I do Pilates and high interval intensity training and other stuff. And just by doing my regular exercises, I gained mobility, but I can just do what I need in everyday life. I can reach the top shelf in the kitchen and I can do dancing and stuff, but there is still not full range of motion. And so once I started with the rope flow, there's just muscles that haven't been used in forever. And
right.
I noticed those. Yes.
All right. So yeah, doing that contradicting thing. So what did you notice in your shoulders?
I find my chest needs to open up more. It's sort of, from this sort of protective sort of feeling, this needs to open up more. And then just sort of going to the back, I feel like, okay, but I don't need that in my regular, like in my day-to-day life. I don't need to go back that much. It's like, like I said, it's like I can reach up the stuff that I need in everyday life. And I tried a little bit of, special training. I went to work out with a personal trainer for a while. I'm like, okay, I'm going to tackle this. But then, I was supposed to go to the gym by myself and just, work out these arm exercises. And I just hated it. It's like, I just can't go to the gym. It's like, this is not for me. I don't like exercise just for the sake of the exercise. I don't like to sit there by myself just doing X repetition of this move. And so when I saw the rope flow on Instagram, I was like, maybe this would be a good way. It actually looks like fun. It looks like something that I would want to do and not like something that I would have to do.
Exactly. You found it fun. It attracted you with that fun factor that you would like to do, and also will have that benefits for your health that you need to do. But instead of going into the gym, you can do it anywhere you want.
Yes. And then I'm actually, and now that I started, and then so I did the figure eight. It's like, okay, I got this. I can do the figure eight. I did the matador. It's like, oh, cool, this works. And then I started with the dragon roll, and that really doesn't work. And it's like, I think I'm getting the movement. I understand what I'm supposed to be doing. Just my arms and shoulders just can't do it physically yet. So I actually found myself looking up shoulder stretching exercises to be better able to do the rope flow.
Well, well, that's amazing. That's a side effect. Like, okay, I need to improve because I cannot do it. Like, let's find it what can help me to improve if I cannot make it. Well, you have a purpose now. You want to
Yes,
do the rope flow.
yeah, I think sort of I'm not naturally someone that likes to exercise. It just has to be fun what I do. That's where the dancing comes in. I love to dance. So I don't mind that it's cardio exercise. I don't mind, you know, that I'm actually exercising while I'm dancing, or that I'm sore after I tried something new or so, because I like the dancing. And it's the same with the rope flow now. It's like, I love how once you get going for a couple of minutes, how you get into this flow state when you just let it go. That is just so nice. And then I'm like, I'm actually willing to put work into it that I didn't like to do before, just for the sake of doing the stretching, just so I can flow better.
Well, now you have a reason and intention to do it.
Which is
So
fun. And then I think that is always like the main thing for me. Is like, I just, this going to the gym thing, it's just not for me. To me, this is not fun. And I can keep it up for a week and then I can't. And I typically also find it hard to do stuff at home. I prefer to go somewhere where there's a group and where I can just follow along, where I don't have to like come up with my own exercises, or this is what I'm going to do next and this is what I'm going to do next. But this is really nice because right now the weather is still nice. So I've just been practicing in my backyard, and I can follow along your videos. I don't have to think, what am I practicing today? Or I just go out and just see what goes. And so far, like, I'm very encouraged that I can keep that up by myself. And I would also be interested to see if there's others in my area. And then once I get the hang of it a little more, maybe meet up with them and see what they're doing and sort of create a little community there.
Well, that's the wonderful goal to have it. We really trying to encourage people to meet it up in the local areas. And one of our Octomoves app functionality is to find the people nearby.
Yes.
It's also, maybe you can start finding people over there if more and more people will joining there. As well, there's the circles that we kind of made a country circle. So there's people like just from US are joining over there. It's kind of new thing. We're still trying to create it and like boost it up, the more engagement inside of over there, so that people can actually meet up, gather those things. And as you such a enthusiast, you want to kind of bring it up. Maybe we can figure out something afterwards how we can do that to help you get more people together and you all can flow. Well, the weather is good and allows.
Yes. And I saw that. It's like, oh, there's people in my area, Portland. And so far I haven't reached out yet. I thought it's like, oh, maybe I should just, get a little more proficient before I reach out. And maybe I don't. It's like, maybe that's just.
I guess you're done. You just need to do it. Like with the rope flow. You didn't know how to do it. You just started doing it. Like, okay, it starts getting. You get hang of one movement, another movement. Okay, third one is stuck. Maybe it's not your physicality that doesn't allow you to do the dragon roll. Maybe how I'm speaking in the lesson didn't click for you, or maybe you kind of missed something. So meeting with somebody else, it doesn't matter if you know how to do it or not. Maybe you can communicate each other and figure out, found the best kind of communication between each of you that explains to each other what is missing. And when somebody is looking from the side, we can also spot some things. Okay, he's doing that in the lesson, and you're not doing that. So that can be a limiting factor. So it's always nice to have the social aspect, but as well, this like popped up in my head since you're struggling with drag and roll. Just whatever, you cannot make it, but film it for yourself. Just place a camera, film it how you're trying to practice it, and then watch it. And this way you can analyze and see what's the issue over here. Maybe in that way you can overcome it, because I don't think this is an issue for your physical capabilities. Because drag and roll, it looks difficult, but it's actually super simple. It's usually people overthinks it, and what I noticed with kids, like really small kids, they pick it up, you show them, and we start doing it. It makes sense for them somehow, and we tend to overthink it. I don't know if you use my advice to use the audible cues for yourself when you say that I'm dragging, rolling, or flipping, again dragging, flipping. This is where you can actually in the real time get a feedback from yourself. What you're saying and what's happening should match your words. If it's not matching, that means either your moves are separate for what you want to do. So this way you can actually fix it yourself right away without even filming or having any input from outside. And that way you can progress.
I like the filming idea a lot. It's like I don't particularly enjoy watching myself doing something, but what I learned with dancing often is when you learn something new, like I'm from Germany, we don't move our hips when we dance. But when I learned Latin dancing, you have to move your hips. And I feel like I'm moving my hips, because from what I did before, I am moving, but I am not moving enough. But I feel like I'm moving a lot from where I came from.
And your starting point is different from ours. So yes. It's always better to compare to yourself, not to others.
But then there is, so then somebody recorded, I did a little sort of spotlight, somebody recorded, and then I saw myself, and what I saw isn't what I felt I was doing.
Yeah.
I thought I was moving. I feel I'm moving my hips, but in the video, you hardly see it. It was so minimal. And one of the teachers always say, like, if you think you're doing it, then you have to do more. And so to me, that was a really interesting sort of aha moment, where what I feel or what I think I'm doing isn't necessarily what I'm doing. So the recording and watching yourself is actually a really good feedback. And mirrors are fine, but once you start moving, you can't really follow that whole movement in the mirror anymore.
Yes. The same thing is in surfing community. People think so good until you film them. And it's like, and we watch, like, it's me. Like, I feel like I look so bad. I fall. I'm doing really amazing turns and stuff. And this is the wake up call. And it's usually what it is when people start filming. And it's like, okay, in my head, I'm doing way, way more than I actually doing in the real life. So this is the good thing to bring it up with yourself, because I totally believe that you can do the drag and roll. It's not a possibility. It actually opens the chest and makes your posture more erect, because it's like stretches all those muscles over here as well, and you're kind of bending your thoracic spine back and forth, which is also kind of correlates with the shoulders. So it also should improve your shoulder mobility. as well. So from that side, you're doing 2 weeks. Did you notice any benefits already? Mental, physical, whatever pops up in your mind. If not, it's also good. Like not everybody notices it.
What I feel is like I slouch less when I'm sort of relaxed. It's like I'm sitting here now. It's like before I would just like, you just like, now it's like, nope, it's like I feel like I want to sit straighter.
Okay, so your posture improved.
Because I think my muscles are just more awake, more engaged than before. So before they would just get too tired or just aren't, used to working that much. And now they are sort of, I think also what someone explained to me, when your shoulder freezes and you don't move it, there's actually connection from the brain to some of the muscles lost. I had to relearn some movements because the brain just sort of shuts down those, the connection to those muscles. So there's a lot of maybe still some muscles that I haven't really fully engaged. And I feel a difference in my posture, like when I sit, that it's just more engaged.
Well, which is really nice. I guess the better posture also translates into more confidence of yourself. You're entering the room or just sitting. Did you notice any mental benefits? Like for your mind?
No, I'm also not really a very stressed person. I have a very relaxed life, so I'm easy.
Oh, that's good. Do you have any goals with the associated with the rope flow?
When I first started, I really just was looking for more mobility in my shoulders and in my spine. And long term, I'm thinking now that I picked it up, there was this one moment where it just sort of, and I heard you talk about it with Theo, I think, where you just get into this flow state and stuff just happened. And I don't even know what it is that I did. I cannot recreate it, but it was really cool. So I'm hoping that as I'm getting better, as I'm getting more experience, that I will also then be able to dive into that some more, where the rope isn't necessarily there to exercise my shoulders and my back, where I also get to experience this flow state more, where you can just let it go and it just sort of happens. You're not thinking about what you're doing anymore, which was a really fun experience, but it just was very brief. And I'm like, oh, what did I do? And then I was out of it.
Well, yeah, in the beginning, it can be that because you started noticing, it's like, oh, it's something new, and that actually brings you out from it.
Yes.
Yeah, but with more time, it's gonna be way easier. But you immerse yourself in the activity, that actually the rest of the world just disappears. One of the good ways to do that while you in your stage is close your eyes. Doing the closed eyes. And you're not thinking, you're not looking where the rope is moving, you're moving your body. The rope just tells you where it is. If it hits you, you know that you didn't move the body properly, and it's kind of all in the circles. And it's quite easy in the beginning to get into that flow state with the closed eyes. As well, it's an interesting experience because your other sensory is actually kind of boosts up, and your hearing is also becomes really interesting at that, because if you do like 5 or 10 minutes with the closed eyes non-stop, I don't want to spoil this actually. I just experience yourself, but I had like really amazing experiences with that and the surrounding, and it's cool things. It's actually like sci-fi things that start happening for me. I don't know what's gonna be for you, but like just try it. Try it for a prolonged period, doing single pattern that you're good at it with the closed eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will try that, because that, yeah, this sort of, yeah, it really is a flow state, and it was really very cool.
That's awesome. Do you have any advice at this point? You've been flowing for 2 weeks. Maybe there's already some insights came to you that you would like to share with those who are just starting it, or just thinking to start.
I think, I've been looking at rope flow for a while, and, most of the people that I saw on social media, it's like, okay, that's not me. It's like, maybe this isn't for me. And then I decided to just give it a try. And I think that's really my main advice is, if you're not sure, just give it a try.
Well,
It's like, who knows? Who knows, right? It's like, you don't know until you try it. And especially with Octomoves, I find the more I look at the app and the more I see what people post, there's really such a variety of people. And, it's not just the young buff guys. There's all kinds, and it doesn't really matter how your flow looks, because anybody can get something out of it, and whatever it is that you get out of it might be something different for someone else. But just give it a try.
perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that. This is the cliche thing, but it's really, really important for people to hear, because most of the people just don't do it, don't try it. So thank you for that. Thank you for encouraging. Thank you for tuning in, Simone. That was pleasure for you to chat. And thank you for all folks that are listening. If any of you doesn't have app, go and download from App Store or Google Play, and may the flow be with you.